Hi guys, I know you are interested on what I'm doing for my skincare regimen and then also how I'm using my products to do my makeup. So first I wanted to show that before I do anything, I prep my face with a SPF moisturizer from Rodan+Fields from the Redefine line. So I just dabble that on my whole face to make it nice and moist so that my makeup applies evenly. And then after I do that, of course, I'm always putting just a little bit like this, and I'm doing an eye cream. Tapping it underneath. The eye cream's helping with dark circles, puffiness, and crow's feet, so you don't really need a lot, and you just tap in the letter C around the eye area. And I know everyone has different preferences, but I'll be showing you some makeup that I'm using and the order I like to do things in. So I always like to do my eyes first. So I like to prime with Painterly from MAC as a paint pot. So we are going to just do one side of her face of the eye so that it doesn't take too long in the video. So I just use that and I just put it on the whole entire lid. And then from there, I like to use a cream eyeshadow from Unique, and this one's called Elegant. And it's a cream eyeshadow that I found that works really, really nicely. It's gold and it has a really nice light shimmer, and you can apply it and it can have a lot of shimmer, or you can put it on very lightly like I'm doing for Danielle and just have an everyday look with it. So I like to tap that on. Let me mention, I'm not obviously a makeup professional, but at the same time, this is just what I'm doing every day, so I'm sure that my techniques aren't, the best in the world. What I like to use is this Deeply Dashing from MAC. It's a really great size. It's a dark brown, and I'll just be tapping it lightly. And then I like to put this just on the crease up here. Tap again, and I like to put it right here in the corner of the eye. So we're just going for like an everyday type of look. We don't want it to look too heavy or dark or make-upped. We just want very natural and light. So that's why I'm picking the golds and the brown. And then on top, I like to use Orb by MAC, and it's just a very light shadow, and I'll use a different brush to apply that, a wider MAC brush. And when I'm applying that same concept, I just do that right underneath the brow so that it highlights it. And basically that's all the shadow that I'm using on my eye. And then the next step I like to do is use a black eyeliner. I like to use ones that have the smudge brush on the end. I find it a lot easier, and this one from Bobbi Brown is by far my favorite. So I like to put the eyeliner inside the eye. And then my personal preference is putting it underneath. Look up. So I like to just put a tiny bit on the edge of my eye here. And then from there, I like to use the end, the smudge brush, and look up, I'll just drag that underneath the lid here, under the eye, and then I'll kind of just like use the brush to angle it up and close. And then I'll take it and put a little bit here on top of the eye. So I'm not really even using the pencil, I'm just using the little bit that I put on the corner of her eye right here, and then smudging it along underneath her eye, and then tiny bit above the eye here. Look up. So now she's having, again, a very natural and light black eyeliner look without it looking heavy or dark. So that's what I'm doing there. And I like to use a white eyeliner that I use from MAC, and I put that on the inside of my eye here and up into here, and like to just use that to make the eye look bigger and fuller. So I do that, and then I like to just usually tap that so it doesn't look too fake or too white, but definitely just brightens up the eye and gives it the appearance of being a little bit bigger. So I'm liking that. Looks good. The next step that I like to do is my mascara. So what I'm doing for that, as I've posted a million times, I love the Fiber Lash. So I still actually use a mascara underneath my Fiber Lash. I like the Hot and Naughty from MAC, the extra black one. Not the best at applying mascara on other people, but so I'll just do a gentle application of the mascara and look up, and then I'll do it on the bottom. Okay, and now what I'm doing now is I will open both tubes of my Fiber Lash at the same time because you don't want one to dry before you put in the fibers. So I leave it like this, and then I'm going to put on the first set, the fibers, and then I put on the second set. So the setting gel goes first. Now if you go crazy with the fibers, yeah, it's going to get all over your face and look really bad. I kind of just use it on the tips here so that something is there to apply to. And then I get out the fibers, I make sure they're good. And then I'm using that to darken the lash. If some fibers fall down onto your face, I mean, that's totally fine. You can just use your makeup brush and sweep them away. This is kind of why I like doing my eyes first too, because if anything gets on my face, I'm just wiping it off. And now I'm going to reapply the setting gel to hold the fibers in place. And you can do the Fiber Lash as many times as you want. So you can apply it again and again if you want them to be longer and longer. We're just doing the natural look, so I think once is more than enough. And a crazy tip, but I do it, I like to take my tweezers sometimes, and if they're clumped together, like I said, it's crazy, I'll very carefully like pull them apart or separate them with a tweezer just so that my eyelashes don't look like clumpy or bad in that sense. Okay, so now that the eye is done, pretty much I wait to do my eyebrow until the end. We are now going to use the Rodan+Fields contour kit set that I got, which is all 3 colors, Rodan+Fields peptides. What's great about these peptides, not only are they a great makeup source, but they are lightweight, antibacterial, anti-age, and have an SPF in them. It comes in 3 different colors, so either you can just use it as a foundation or like a cover, or you can use it as a contour like we're going to do with Danielle. They also have a really cool brush, and when you apply it to contour, you'll, slide it up and down, giving you the ability to make the brush be what you need it to do. Also, it's antibacterial bristles, so really great for that. So right now, what I like to do first is highlight. So I'll close the brush up a little bit like this. I'm going to pour some of the lightest color peptide into my cap, and then from there, I'm just going to be dabbing on the peptides onto the brush. And I'm going to highlight in the areas that should be highlighted as, what I think. So I like to do underneath the eye here. So I'm going to apply the makeup like that. Then I also like to do on the jawline right here, having a nice light and bright color. And then at the same time, I like to do it around the lip area. So the top of the lip, the bottom of the chin. And then of course we all like to do the contour on the nose. So that's where I'll take this again on this brush and just sweep it down the nose line to create that look that we're looking for. And then bring it up into the brow section up here. So I've highlighted with the light under the eye, on the chin here, down the nose and up into the brow, on the lip, and down here on the chin. So what I'm going to do next is use the medium color because that's pretty much what her skin tone is. And then I'm going to dust some of that into the cap again. And I'm going to use the medium color and fill in the rest of her face with our peptides in that color. So now I'm going to change my brush and open it up so that it's free. And we can have the loose powder on here like this and then just apply to all the other spots on her face loosely with this nice powder. so that she's getting the full coverage of the anti-age, but she's also getting the full coverage of an SPF all over her face. Now we applied an SPF with the lotion, and now you have a nice SPF here, so it's really great that you're just getting ultimate coverage with the Rodan+Fields line. So I'm making sure it's just evenly applied. Sometimes I go back after and I retouch up the light if I feel like when I did this some of the light came off. So yep, that's just a general application, very quick, but now the fun begins. I'm going to close my brush back up to a tight part like this, and we are going to use the bronze. It's the darkest color we have with Rodan+Fields. A really small amount in my cap. I'm going to dab it on, and now I'm not going to just leave it on my brush. I'm kind of going to dab it because I don't want it to be too much. But this is where I'm going to highlight the contour of the cheekbone here. So I'm going to tap it, and so you can see the line that's coming. And I'm going to leave it like that for now. And then I'm also going to be tapping the same line right here under my jawbone is where you're supposed to do it as well. And then I take it up into my hairline up here. And for me, I'm not sure how everyone's nose is, but I like to use a different brush when I am putting the dark on my nose. It's just a really light, fluffy brush from MAC, but when I use the brush down my nose, I like it to just be a little bit more precise. So I'm going to just tap it in here, and I like to blow it off because I don't want it to look too fake. You're supposed to go from the nose up here down, so it's supposed to look like it's continuing, I think, from like your eyebrow, so they say. So I'll just like sweep a really gentle light line like that down the face. I'll do the other side just so you can see for the purpose of the contour. And you can make it as heavy or as light as you want, depending on obviously what you're doing. We're going for the day look. So again, I'm just going to be sweeping it down her nose there. And now I go back with that same brush back to my light and sweep that down the nose again, just to make sure everything looks good there. So now you're like, okay, now she has these lines on her face. I open my brush back up after I put the contour where I'm wanting it to be. And then I'm just going to do some blending here with the brush. So as you see, the brush is really nice that you can use it for multiple things. So I'm just blending in the contour so that it fades into her normal skin color, which we put on. And then I'll fade it up here too and brush it. I like to brush mine into my hairline so that you don't get that mark where people notice that you have something on your face. So I always like to brush up into my hairline so that it looks natural, and onto my ear as well so that I'm making sure I don't have like a line. So I'm just going to make it look natural, and then what I do down here, because you don't want a line either, I kind of rub it down onto my neck from that line so that it's not harsh. And if I'm going out at night, I'll obviously keep it a little bit more drastic. And then I also am going to use, I like, what is this, Peachy Keen from MAC, and I use their, obviously, brush, and putting on a little bit of color. I like the pinkness, so I'll just lightly apply this above the contour so that it just highlights everything, and now you really can see the separation between the light, the nice pink, the contour, and then the light again. Again, brushing that into my hairline. So now my face is pretty much set to go because I have it all ready. And the next step that I like to do, you could go back and do your eyebrow at this point, but I don't know why it's my thing. I always leave that to last, even though if I mess it up, it really stinks because I have to start some stuff over. I'm going to do the lips. This is a really nice one. It's called Fashion Boost. Obviously, you can see I use a lot of MAC products. And what I'm going to do with her lip is kind of what I do with mine. I outline the bottom here underneath the lip line, and then I draw an X on top of the lip, and then outline on top, but then fade into the lip so it doesn't look so fake. Obviously, Kylie Jenner look, but totally not that extreme, but my lips would look crazy. So you're just overlining a little bit. So I put it on the bottom. So again, I'm really not even on her lip, I'm on her skin. And now as I go up, I'm actually on her lip so that she doesn't look weird. So yep, just applying here and going to go up onto her lip at this point when we're getting to the crease. So a nice liner on the bottom. And the top now, we make an X so that it looks really pristine and sharp. So I'm gonna have her look at me when I do it, but like I said, so I'm gonna start if the top of your lip is here and draw down, and then the top of the lip and draw down. So I'll do it and then let her look at you. Okay, so this is the X that I do. So as you see, it's accentuating the part that we highlighted. Oh, sorry, right here in the middle. And it's giving your lips the look of a lip that most people want. And then the top of the X is where I'm outlining above the lip. And then I'm going to fade it down onto the actual lip. So again, it's not looking too fake or weird. Okay, so might look a little strange right now, but I leave it like that, and then I have the matching lipstick right here. So I like to try to make it match, and then just filling it in pretty much. Not, like I mentioned in the beginning, makeup expert at all, so makeup specialists out there are probably thinking I'm crazy and do things totally wrong, but this is just what works for me. And then I like to just move my lips around and get it nice and together. And then you can put on a gloss if you're looking for something shiny, or you can leave it as this and put some loose powder on it and make it a matte finish. So I'm just going to take some of the light peptide powder and just dust it over the lip, because right now I'm looking for a matted look. So I'll just dust some of this over, because we're not going for high gloss, we're going just for a natural everyday. And so now the lipstick's a little bit toned down and it's a matte, and it's not going to get on everything if you know, drink something or whatever. So now your eyebrow. This kind of finishes the whole look. I use a lingering pencil from MAC. Now there's I follow all these eyebrow people, Anastasia, everyone, and I'm jealous because they do theirs really, really great. So this is my way of doing it. Totally not probably the best way, but I like to just start on the bottom for me, and then I go up to the point and create a line on the bottom of the brow, and then I mimic the same thing up to the point here with a line as well. So I use the pencil to draw the line. So now her eyebrow has a shape and direction that I'm going. I then just click it up a few more times, and I'm going to fill the space that I just did, not pressing too hard, because she obviously has eyebrow hair there that is filling the space, and I don't want it to look too harsh. The hardest part is like right here, making it not look weird as it blends into your face. And some people can do it really light there and then go. I don't really know how they do that, and I would love to know, but this is pretty much what I'm doing. So after I take that, I've now filled in the front of the eyebrow, and the end of it, I go to the actual dip brow from Anastasia and use that with a really nice fine brush from MAC. And then I'll just dip it in here, and then I'm going to create the point that I'm looking for at the end. So dipping some product on here. And then making sure it's not like clumpy on it and nice and thin, because I like the tight line look at the end. So I kind of use this to arch and then go to the point. And the point I like to do is from here up. So I feel like mine looks best, at least when I end it there. So I'm going to go from the point I stopped at and try to curve it, and then like whisk it away at the end. And then I'll just keep dragging the brush down. So now, if it's like, you know, not exactly what I'm looking for, that's when I go back with my pencil and I'm going to like fix the arch and do anything else I feel like I need to do so that I can have a real good control. I sometimes like this better than going back with the dip brow because sometimes I feel like I don't have as much control with that. If it's like thick and getting everywhere, at least this with the precision that I'm doing, I can fill in, and it kind of moves the dip brow too until it sets. So as long as I have that nice point at the end, that's pretty much what I'm looking for. Yeah, so this is side done, side not done, using my favorite products, and thanks for watching. Hope it helps you.